there are WWE superstars, and then there are WWE eras. And for more than 2 decades, that era was John Cena. From the young kid walking out in oversized shorts and a padlock chain to the face that carried WWE through its most challenging years, John Cena wasn't just a performer, he was the standard. He was the one kids looked up to, the ones crowds argued over, the one who showed up every night, night after night, no matter the city, no matter the reaction, cheered by half the crowd and booed by the other. And yet, there he is, still standing in the middle of the ring, never backing down. Cena didn't just wrestle matches. He carried responsibility. He carried expectations. And he carried a company on his shoulders when it needed stability the most. This isn't about debating wins and losses or arguing heel turns that should have happened sooner. This episode is about recognizing what it takes to be that guy, to be dependable and to be accountable and unforgettable. Love him or hate him, you felt John Cena. And in professional wrestling, that is the highest compliment there is. So today, we're taking the time to say thank you for the moments, for the memories, and for the legacy of a man who truly lived the words, never give up. This is our tribute to John Cena. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the greatest podcast you've never heard of. That is the Jazz Zodiac Podcast, the podcast that has no real agenda and no real script. This is the podcast that was not crying last night. I was cutting onions during Cena's last match. Prove me wrong. This is going to be a special episode. I know we're in the holidays. We just had Cena's last match on Saturday Night Main Event last night on the 13th of December. But before we get into all nothing and everything about Cena, let me introduce my co-host real quick. First, up on my right, the host of the Charles Richardson Show, none other than Mr. Charles Richardson. It's been a minute, sir. How you been?
It's been more than a minute, but who's counting?
I forgot. You know, Psycho's not here. Psycho is not here, so I can't do, all that stuff with him anymore.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah. And she's not a newcomer. She's been on the show before, but she is hopefully going to be a permanent staple on the show going forward. And this is of TikTok fame, which is where I found her at. Miss Phil Nicole. Oh, LA Knight approves, apparently. So I'm still wishing it was LA Knight last night, but that's a whole different argument. So,
hello.
Yeah. So let me make sure where everything's good here. Let's start with our first question of the day. When John Cena dropped the Ruthless Aggression line back in 2002 on SmackDown to Kurt Angle, where were you as a fan of WWE? I will start with you, Miss Nicole.
Well, first, I was only 11 years old.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah, I was only 11. So, I was still in between is it real? Is it not real?
Yeah, I get that. Okay.
So, I didn't really have a place. I just liked wrestling.
Fair enough. I like that answer. You dug it, but you weren't like a little bit older, so you could understand the concept.
Right. I didn't really understand it.
I can totally dig that. That's how I got into it, which is the cool colors and the macho man dropping a promo. Yeah, so I can dig that. I know Charles and I are not too far off in age, so I'm sure his answer will be a little bit different. So, Charles, where were you at as a fan when Cena first came on the scene back in.
I was a massive Rock fan at that time. This is where my first pay-per-view, actually the first time I ever saw wrestling was Backlash. Triple H and The Rock going at each other for, obviously Vince McMahon, I want you to count to 3. And it's, yeah, I kind of remember, everybody's, Stone Cold coming in and wasting everybody and then leaving. Yeah. It's just, so I was there. I was following along as much as possible. So when Cena came out there, I didn't think much of him until I saw him shake the hand of The Undertaker. I'm thinking,
yeah,
you need to start paying attention to this guy.
Yeah. Back in 2002, I was again getting over the hangover that was the Attitude Era. That was just such a great time to be a fan of wrestling. I was very much a WWE or WWF guy at the time.
Right.
I rarely ever went to watch WCW because it is what it is. And that's a future episode. We're going to talk about June 5th, 1999, the day WCW shot themselves in the foot, and WWE never looked back after that. But definitely was a big fan. I was about 2 years removed. I went to WrestleMania 2000. 2 years prior, I was living in LA at the time. When Cena came on scene, I was living in San Diego. And that's back when SmackDown was on Friday night. I mean, it's on Fridays now, but there was a time it switched it around and all that stuff. But it was like, we're going to watch SmackDown and then we're going to go out to the bar. That's just the way it was. And being in the military, it's like, well, we're going to go to the bar. Well, y'all go ahead. I'm going to watch SmackDown and we're good. But I do know when I saw Cena for the first time, and he made Kurt Angle look like $1 million in that match. That's a match you can go back and watch. It's still entertaining today. Cena came inches of winning almost every time. And I know we said the Psycho is not here. He is on a different schedule, so he will not be here physically. However, he did answer this question for me, and let me read what he said. When Cena uttered the line "Ruthless Aggression" back in June 27, 2002, he's got to put out dates because he's really good with this shit. Arrogant prick. I was still a pretty diehard fan of the product. However, soon after, I would slowly start to fade into the indies due to 2 friends of mine that I had met through a job. The indies paled in comparison, and at the time, the WWF had become WWE, changing to a more PG product, which, in my opinion, went against everything the Attitude Era stood for. And it felt like the company wasn't trying as hard as they used to since they bought out their competitor WCW a year prior. There's some truth to that. I see no fault in that answer. It's fairly accurate. It went from, there's blood and there was chair shots all the time to let's be more kid friendly. So I can totally relate to that answer. So, but were we all watching this debut match live back in 2002, or did we catch it later?
No, it was pretty much all live at that time. There was no TV.
I mean, you didn't set your VCR plus to record
a VCR. To be honest with you, I wasn't really a SmackDown guy. I was actually when I went ahead and watched it, I was watching Raw because at that time it's like Raw and SmackDown, is the same roster. They didn't split rosters at that time.
That's true.
And so it's like, well, if I want to see, I'll watch Raw. I'm not going to.
They always had video packages. Yeah,
I'm not going to watch this CW. Fuck them. I'm not do that.
And then SmackDown used to come on Thursdays.
It was on Thursdays for a while, for a long while. There it was on Thursdays. But for our younger audience, a VCR is a DVR, but with an actual physical tape. So just for the younger kids out there that are watching or listening, to each their own. Okay, let's move on to our next question. Charles, when you hear the name John Cena, what comes to mind?
Hustle, loyalty, and respect.
In that order. In that order.
That's the order that I was that I learned. So yeah, when I hear the name John Cena, I'm thinking a workhorse. I'm thinking the greatest of all time. I'm thinking that this is a guy, and I'm not going to say he identifies as wrestling because he doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a limited move basis. He's not a high flyer. He's
The 3 moves of doom.
not always entertaining, but I will say that he put effort and did what was best for the business.
Can't argue that. How about you, Miss Nicole?
Greatest of all time, team player, whatever to get the business looking good, whatever to sell tickets, that is John Cena.
Did Psycho answer that question? No, he did not. Okay, cool. Probably best he didn't, because he's a hater. He's a hater. He's always been a hater of John Cena. Just because, for a while there, Cena just didn't lose. So for me, when I hear the name John Cena, there's only one thing that comes to mind: spinner belts. Freaking spinner belts. I'm sorry. I love the spinner. I know people hate them. I love both the US, which I own. I don't have it displayed right now, and the world heavyweight. That world heavyweight belt is
WWE.
heavy. It's like 100 pounds. I exaggerate, but it's like heavy. So yeah, that's what I think of. That and just work ethic. I mean, oh my God, promos. Holy crap. I mean, there were like 2 or 3 men on, like, not quite a Mount Rushmore, but I put them up there with like The Rock, CM Punk, and Ric Flair cutting promos, just spitting truth. Even when he was a heel, he was still spitting truth. So, okay. Again, Psycho didn't answer that particular question. So we'll move on to the next question, which is probably a little controversial. Should John Cena have turned heel earlier than he did, or was this retirement tour the perfect time to do it? I'll start with you, Mystical.
I don't think he should have turned heel at all. I honestly think it was a waste of freaking time.
I have no argument here.
Yeah,
Charles?
I don't. Mm-mm.
Charles?
Oh, so Cena was a heel to a point. The Thugonomics gig.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
He
was
kinda
an
was,
anti-hero. He was a Stone Cold Steve Austin is what he
but
was. Yeah,
but
I can
here,
see that.
but the thing was though is that he wasn't a hero. Went ahead, spoke his mind, was controversial, didn't give a fuck about any of y'all. He
Yeah.
went ahead and did his thing and did it well. So if you wanted to say anything, Cena turned heel the right time. The Thugonomics dude was the heel. Now, if you want to go ahead and say he never turned heel, he's always a good guy and team player, blah blah blah, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, this was not a good opportunity to turn heel, even though they tried. There just wasn't enough time. It really wasn't. Cena agrees to that. He says, "Look, it takes about 2 years to go ahead and get a heel reliable. We had 36 dates, and then even that half that was being good." So it's like you can't go ahead and do a good storyline. And at the time, to Nicole's logic, why would you turn somebody heel? The guy's massive at the gate, massive in merch. What the hell you need to turn him heel for? Yeah, okay. So everybody went ahead and chanted him. You know what? He embraced it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I know for me, I'd been wanting a heel turn from Cena for quite some time. They teased it when he was fighting, or when he was feuding with Bray Wyatt sometime back, but that never came to be. I think the issue with the heel turn is that it really didn't go anywhere. But the way it happened, it was like there was little breadcrumbs, and I'm like, when he's hugging Cody, and then he looks at The Rock, and he just gets that scowl, that look that he has. I'm watching on TV at home going, dude, he's about to turn, and it's going to be epic, as I freaking called it on the previous episode of the show. I'm very happy about that. But I think they shouldn't have had to where it was The Rock that made the push. Because after that, what happened to The Rock? He disappeared. He
Was
never
no
came back. Yeah, he never came back. That's it. And if I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, Monday morning quarterback, you make Cena the heel the way they did. He wins the title the way he did at WrestleMania. He remains a heel the entire time until yesterday. And then when he faces Gunther, he drops the title to Gunther. He should have gone out dropping the title. But then again, that's going to be another discussion here later on about what we could do differently about that match. But I think the heel turn was too little too late. And then once they made the turn, they didn't know what to do with it. Yeah, you can cut promos all day. But if there's no logic and and again, The Rock wasn't showing up. Travis Scott wasn't showing up. It was just Cena.
Yeah, they Travis Scott.
Yeah, it just went nowhere. And it was just like, it felt very unfulfilled is probably the word I could use. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Which match would you say in Cena's career is his most defining or his best match? I'll start with Charles.
Can't really identify a single match, to be honest with you. I mean, defining, I think, would be the Royal Rumble match when he comes back after his torn bicep.
I would, 2006, yeah.
Yeah, I would 2007 actually. But yeah, I would definitely like to think, coming back and just reclaiming his top spot over there. I don't know if that was a defiant match, but that's one that definitely sticks in my mind.
And not only that, but he was supposed to be out for a year. He was out for 6 months or something like that. It was like half the time. So
just came back so quickly. Nobody.
Yeah. And I know people were pissed. I know the Psycho was I was there when we were watching that show live at Buffalo Wild Wings, and the match is going on, and he's like, I wonder who number 30 is. I'm like, dude, would it be cool if it was Cena? And he's like, no. And then what happened? It was freaking Cena, and he was so pissed. How about you, Mr. Cole? What do you think?
I'm gonna have to bring it to this year. Him and AJ put on a banger. And the fact that he paid tribute to so many people shows that he had such respect for them, and it showed his character. So that was honestly defining for him. So
the Psycho actually answered this question, and he said, I have to go with his debut match on SmackDown. He made such a big splash. He held his own against Angle, which at the time was a multi-time heavyweight champion. And I think even not long before that held the European and the Intercontinental, not too long before that. And it's still a match you can go back and watch again. Cena came really close to beating Angle several times during that match. For me, it's going to be the Rumble in, what was it, 2017 in San Antonio when he won number 16 against AJ Styles. And I was there. And I got to see history. That to me was, and it was a great match. AJ Styles, granted he did blunder last night doing that phenomenal forearm, which happens. But, either way, it's one hiccup in a great career. But that match, it was back and forth. Like, there were times there I thought, dude, Cena's not going to win this match. There's no way. There's no way he's going to get number 16. And overcame and got it. And to me, it was, and the area I was in was like very pro Cena. This is back when people were really booing him. So the area that I was in was very pro Cena. So that made that experience so much better. So yeah, for me, and just the match in general, I can go back and watch it again. And the Rumble was, it was okay. I think that was the year Randy Orton won it and went up against Bray Wyatt. But that match in general was just top. And I think that was before they were doing the women's Rumbles too. That was like a year or two before that. Anyway, I digress. Who would you say is John Cena's biggest rivalry? Charles, I'll start with you.
John Cena's biggest rivalry?
Yeah.
Rock.
Really? Why would you say that?
Well, let's put it this way. He went ahead and named his finishing move after him.
Okay.
But I'm saying they've had so many fights over the years when it just unexpected. Brock would come through to say, you know, to go ahead and make a surprise appearance, like after Mania when he lost to The Rock. You know, he's over there trying to cut a promo. Everybody knew Brock was coming out. He comes out.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Lays him out. Yeah, and almost anytime you see Brock come out, Cena's in the mix somewhere.
Somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I can't argue that. What about you, Mr. Cole?
I'm gonna say the Viper, Randy Orton. You know that banger at Bragging Rights 2009
Damn.
Iron Man match. One of the best matches ever that Cena has put on in a performance. So I got to go with Randy Orton, the person who should have been his last.
Well, it's funny you say that because that's that OVW class of 2002, which included Batista, Brock, Cena, and Orton. And yeah, so I believe the Psycho did enter this one, and he says, I don't know if this is his biggest, but my favorite was Edge. From Edge cashing in on Cena after a grueling Elimination Chamber match to their back and forth matches afterward, it was always a fun series of matches to watch. I can't argue. And I do wish we could have gotten Edge somewhere in here. They would have just made this so much better. I'm gonna go a little off the grind here a little bit. And I'm gonna say anybody who had a Money in the Bank contract to cash in, because it seemed like every time Cena had the belt, somebody was cashing in on him. So for me, it's going to be whoever had the Money in the Bank contract, have it be CM Punk or Edge, whoever had it whenever he was the champion. You know, it was always a constant threat that they could cash in. And Cena, I guess it always seemed like Cena was the one that got cashed in on the most. But it makes sense because for that time period, he had the title the most times too. So the math is there. It makes sense. My next question, if you could say anything to John Cena, what would you say to him? Start with you, Mystical.
It ain't nice.
Oh, this is a very safe space. We don't. I know I'm wearing my custom John Cena hat that I had made a couple years back, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to listen to your opinion. I may not agree with it, but I'll listen to it.
Because ain't no way in hell you tapped out.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that here in a minute, too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not nice. I don't have any nice words for Cena right now.
So you're just going to say he shouldn't have tapped out, pretty much, and leave it at that? Fair enough. Sometimes less words are better. I totally get that.
For that question, now when we get on the topic, I got a lot more to say.
Oh, I'm sure. I know we all have something to say about that. What about you, Charles?
Thank you, Cena.
Simple and to the point.
Yes.
For me, Cena had a lot of catchphrases, you know, hustle, loyalty, respect. You can't see me. The champ is here. You want some, come get some. But there was a shirt that I owned a couple years back, and it was when I was going through my divorce. And it was an all black shirt, but it had red, white, and blue letters on it. And the words on it were rise above hate. And that phrase kept me in the game. Through a very dark time in my life, those words, that phrase got me through. And if I could ever see him, I would just shake his hand and say thank you. And not just for what you do in the ring, but for everything you do. And before we go into that last question, I did have some stats on Cena that I pulled up. His first match, obviously, we talked about this earlier, June 27th, 2002. His last match was December 13th, 2025, which was, at the time of recording, was yesterday. 17-time world champion, which is currently the record. 5-time. I now remember what the other question was. It was, would we see somebody hit 18? But I don't really see that happening anytime soon. 5-time U.S. champion, 1-time Intercontinental champion. I still, whatever. 4-time tag team champion, 2-time Royal Rumble winner, 1-time Money in the Bank winner, which was a total accident. The look of shock on his face holding up that briefcase is still hilarious to this day. 10-time Slammy Award winner, and he won Superstar of the Year in 2009, 2010, and 2012. He is both a Triple Crown and Grand Slam champion, and he's done over 650 plus Make-A-Wish requests that have been fulfilled, and that is a record, and it is still going up. So it's not like he's stopping anytime soon. The last part of this, he lost both his first and last match. So, and the last part of this will tie into this last question I have here. Are we okay with the result of Cena's last match on Saturday? Now, before we answer that question, I do want to throw out the last stat that I have, and is the number of times that Cena tapped out in a match. 4. Jericho in 2002, Chris Benoit in 2003, Kurt Angle 2004, Gunther 2025. Charles, are you okay with the end result of this match?
Yes.
Is there a bigger picture that you see?
Think of this, and I know everybody that was booing Triple H last night, chanting AEW, we want Vince, you fucked up, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
No, it was the right thing to do. Here's the reason. They wanted to do a 2-hour celebration of Cena. What did Cena want to do? He wanted to promote the next level of talent. He wanted to go ahead and elevate that talent above everything else that he's done.
Mhm.
He wanted to give somebody else an opportunity like he got when he first stepped in. Is tapping out the right thing to do? Maybe, maybe not. But here's what I will say. He was supposed to drop that match. So him tapping out was, I heard, is a bigger picture of him not only tapping out to the match, but he's tapping out of wrestling. He is giving up wrestling. So never give up. Well, maybe there's a time to give up. And the time was that.
And that's the argument that I'm hearing online, is that, well, you preach never give up, but you did. But if you look at the close up of Cena when he did the tap out, he was smiling and he tapped out with 3 fingers, just like that. Miss Nicole, you said you had some words. I want to hear them now.
I don't think that was the right. Okay, so I'll put it like this. I can see both ways of why they had him lose to Gunther, and I can see ways of why he should have beat Gunther. However, my argument is, why Gunther? Somebody who has already been a world heavyweight champion. If you are putting somebody over, why are you putting somebody over who's already been over? Give it to somebody else. I disagree that it had to be Gunther. Not much so like, okay, yeah, I get it. He gave up wrestling, so he tapped. But why Gunther? We already have a legend killer. We don't need another one.
Yeah, it's true.
We don't need another one. And it just seems like Gunther is just repeating that, but I don't feel Gunther should have been the person to beat John. I don't feel like Gunther should have been that person. I honestly feel like if you were gonna give it to some talent, give it to LA Knight. He hasn't won a damn thing.
Yeah, I can't argue that.
A damn thing. So why not give it to somebody who actually needs the overage?
Let me rebuttal that real
Yeah.
quick. So, what is Brock Lesnar's staple from Paul Heyman when he was the Advocate? Brock Lesnar was the one in 21-1. It was his staple. It was his gimmick. Gunther's gimmick is he retired Goldberg. He retired John Cena.
Yep.
That's his gimmick now. That's a staple.
Yep.
So,
And AJ Styles has already said he's retiring next year. Brock has said he's retiring next year. So I think going forward, he's going to retire 2 more people if they do
They've
it
already
right.
put articles out of them saying that he's gonna be their last opponent.
Yeah.
it's the
Now,
reason why they chose him is I don't think he needed the push because shit, they can push him anytime they want. Really, he's already
Yeah.
like Nicole says, he's already been proven. So I get that. I get that head scratcher. Why not LA Knight? You know, I get that. You know, because LA Knight I think is just deserved, and I think they're playing him as fucking dirty. I
Yeah.
mean, you
I did,
want to
yeah.
go ahead and be
Yeah.
patient. I think LA Knight's been really fucking patient.
And I know this is an unpopular opinion by somebody in here, but I think it should have been LA Knight who won the Rumble and not Jey
I
Uso.
just
I think.
But-
I know. You were. That's why I was like, I know this is an unpopular opinion in this room right now, but I think LA Knight was a little more deserving. And once Jay got the title, they didn't know what to
Right.
do. And I don't. Yeah, they should have never had Gunther drop the title.
And where's Jay now? Oh, he's back.
He's back with his brother doing
Right.
tag team stuff.
I mean, he's
Yeah,
not to hurt anybody that's the Yeet Clan, but he's not a singles wrestler.
I feel they're just setting up for Jay's heel turn.
Maybe.
Everybody is like
I agree.
paying attention. Oh, okay, yes, I love the Usos. That's how I fell in love with Jay and Jimmy. Okay. Tag team right now, no. Jimmy need a singles belt and you need to be chasing what you need to be chasing. But they're just setting up for a heel turn. And I really wish everybody could see that. It's not to just have them revive it.
Well, it's funny too because people keep calling him Little Roman, and I know that's pissing them off. And that's just grinding and it's just brewing, and there's gonna be a time he's just gonna snap. And I want to see it.
Mhm.
You know, I want to see Jay make
But
that.
to close out
turn.
this Gunther thing, just like Cena has always been a team player and a company player, there's a bigger picture that has been yet to be unfolded with Gunther.
Yep. Well, I have 2 answers, and I'm going to answer it both as a fan of wrestling and as a fan of Cena, and they are 2 different answers.
That's not fair.
It really isn't, but as a fan of wrestling, to me it makes sense. You're trying to build Gunther to be a monster. You're trying to make him be the next Brock Lesnar. He literally buried Cena last night. Whether he tapped or not, I would have preferred he passed out, but we'll get to that in a minute. But he retired Goldberg earlier in the year on a main event show, might I add. And then last night he retired John Cena. And he's going to go on to retire 2, if not 3 more men next year. They are building Gunther up to be the new monster of the company. Yeah, he's in his late 30s. He's not much younger than Cena is now, but he's still got a couple
and
years
the way
left on
he
him.
wrestles, not a couple. He's got 5 to 8. The way he wrestles, he's a ground and pound guy. He's got the musculature to do that and grind it out.
I guess I
Yep.
like Gunther because I don't like going to Chop City every day. I just don't.
I'd rather see Chop City than Suplex City myself, but suplexes get old after a while. That's my answer as a wrestling fan. Now, as a John Cena fan, what the fuck, Triple H? Are you fucking kidding? No, not Triple H. This is not Triple H's fault.
is.
I'm gonna go deeper. This is
No.
TKO's fault.
This is no.
They're the ones that are.
This is Paul's
No.
fault, because Paul is the lead writer. Paul is the man that produces everything. He's the one sitting in there. And
He signed off on it.
Yeah. But you know what? I don't think for one fucking bit that Cena, if he says, no, I'm not doing this, they don't do it. Cena
agree.
went ahead and called his own fucking shots on this whole year. And
Yep, he
last
did.
night was
And I
nothing.
I feel like
And
he earned
last
that.
night was nothing different. So
He called it.
everybody's going to bitch and complain at Paul because he is the coach. He is the head writer.
Yeah, he is.
But it was Cena that did
Mhm.
it, and Cena's the one that signed off on it, and that's the way he wanted to go out.
That was bullshit.
I would have preferred. I would have rather he got pinned clean or if he just passed out. But the fact that he tapped out, I'm not okay with that. But something the internet fails to forget is that even though I bitch and moan about it, no matter how much I bitch and moan, it's not going to change the outcome. It's going to stay the same no matter what.
That doesn't
So-
mean that people are less likely to go to the next match. People are less likely to watch WWE. Some people may have just said, you know what, fuck this, I'm going to AEW. And then you can, take Raw and SmackDown and shove it up your ass.
You know what? And that thought crossed my mind once or twice last night, but I'm like, no, I didn't bail during the WCW Monday Night War years. Why would I do
Well,
it?
we're also a lot older and we're, more gray hair
True.
than most. I'm sorry, Nicole. That's what I'm talking about.
I watched
Yeah, it's all right here in
WCW
the
too.
goatee. Well, that's okay if you did. We're not saying there are people that watched both. Totally cool. We don't hate. I've tried watching
I
AEW
can't.
and I just
Now
I just
AEW,
can't do
I
it. I
can't.
can't
It's
do
so
it.
phony. It really is.
Well, not just that, but AEW is what WCW
I
was
can't
20,
even
30
watch
years ago.
TNA. I'm just gonna be honest. I just try to watch the little highlights so I can stay up on it, but I can't sit there and watch a whole show.
That's fair. And that's fair. I see no fault in that. But we can all agree that we didn't agree with the way Cena's. We all have different perspectives of how it could have happened. But at the end of the day, we would have liked to have seen it to go out on an L. I was shocked during the video package after the match was over that they showed a clip
Me
of Vince
too.
McMahon. I was shocked. I was like, did they just show Vince
I'm pretty sure
McMahon?
he was somewhere there.
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure he was
Yeah.
there.
I mean, he was a Vince guy. I mean, for most of his career, he was a Vince McMahon protege. So
Take it or leave it. Vince
You know.
McMahon is a part of WWE, WWF, whatever you want to say. He's woven
Yeah.
into the fabric. You cannot erase him. You can't erase him like you
No.
can try to do for Chris Benoit. You
Mhm.
can't do it.
I was gonna say, if only Benoit had that kind of luck,
They got rid of him quick.
Yeah.
No, real quick. Now, I didn't have this question on. I just thought of it right now, but I'm going to ask this question: is John Cena going to go in the Hall of Fame this upcoming year? I would
think so.
yes.
26?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's already retired. There is no like the NFL has where you have to be out for 5 years before they even think about putting
No.
you in. They're going to put him in. It's going to be either The Rock or Kurt Angle that puts him in, or both. I mean, I'd be okay with either one. Or by some
They bring
surprise,
Vince. What
Edge
if they bring
shows
Vince
up.
up to do it?
Oh, that would be some heat. But I would love every
Right.
minute.
No. You know what?
Um,
I don't think it's this year. You know what I think it's going to be?
Huh?
2027 is going to be one entrant.
John Cena.
The whole
I
Hall
mean,
of Fame,
I like
the
that
whole Hall
idea.
of Fame bows to the greatest of all time.
That includes you, Ric Flair. The former GOAT. Yeah, and I know watching even when I knew he was coming out, and he's messing with Stu and grabbing the camera, I'm sitting there. The screen got kind of blurry, and I'm like, "What is this water coming out of my eyes? I'm not cutting
Dude,
onions. What
there
the hell?"
was
I would hit
dude,
the ball of
there
blubber
was
the entire
a
time.
package that replayed, I think, a couple of times during the pre-show, one time during it. It was everybody holding up signs. We can see you.
Yeah,
Fucking Brock Lesnar's in there. We can see you. Fucking A, man.
and it's funny, we never saw Nikki Bella in that little clip, and she owes so much of her career to
She
John
does.
Cena. Really does.
I really think personally, I think there was a clause in John Cena's relationship contract that says you can't come within 5,000 miles of where I'm performing.
It has to be because she's never there when he's actually.
Yeah, it's true. That's a true statement right there. And that's an argument for another episode, I'm sure. Like, where the hell's Nikki Bella when Cena's there? Well, now she doesn't have to worry about it because he won't. We legit now
Can't see him.
won't be able to see him.
I
Here's a-
wasn't surprised if
hard
he
to
do
do
the
that
same
on my
shit
phone.
Ray did.
Here's two questions I have for you, and they're probably going to be very simple questions to answer. Question number one: is his final match in WWE? Is his final match?
See, it's funny you bring that up because when we talked about that a couple episodes back, I was reading the comments. Holy crap. People were like, "You're making shit up. You're just trying to get clicks." I'm like, no, it's a legit thing to ask because many a wrestler have said this is my last match. And what happened? Like 6 months later, they were in another company doing the same
But,
Right.
shit.
but the
Yeah.
thing is, though,
Twice.
the thing is with this, he's gone on media. He has literally said this. I mean, literally, you can put it on a fucking record. He's literally said the same thing. So many other wrestlers do this. They don't know when to hang it up. Blah 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 blah. This is why I want to do the whole year. Blah 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 blah. This is it. This is my final match. Is it in WWE? Yes. Is it his final match in AEW
No, he's not.
with
He's,
Ed,
he,
Jericho,
no.
MJF?
Well, see, Jericho just recently, from what I'm hearing, signed a contract with WWE. So he's probably doing his retirement tour in WWE this year as
Yep.
well.
Okay.
So that'll be somebody else who they can retire,
And that's
So-
gonna be crap.
I don't think Cena put almost 25 years into the company. I don't think he would mess up his legacy that way by going to another company. I don't see it.
I really hope not. Second question. Triple H is on the post show saying he's going to be an ambassador and what his role is as Cena's role as an ambassador. Do we see he doesn't wrestle?
Mm.
Do we see John Cena as a GM?
Yep.
Or do we see John Cena as
He's not gone. He's just not in the ring.
Right. He's no longer a competitor. But do we see him being a Paul Heyman dude? Do we see him being a general manager? Hell, do we even see him as a ref?
Oh, that would be hilarious.
That would be super hilarious.
Commentator?
Ooh.
He already does it for Wipeout, even though it's more humorous than anything, but still.
But who's he taking over for? Michael Cole?
No. I'm talking about color, like, Wade Barrett, Corey Graves.
Oh, then you got to get rid of either Corey Graves or Wade Barrett.
Oh,
which
Corey
one you
Graves.
picking?
I would say get rid of Joe Tessitore and keep Corey and Wade. Wade is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I have to agree. But I base my commentary, stuff that I do on commentary for my local promotion here on Corey's attitude. I'm just a very heelish commentator. I just don't care. Yeah, I'll say what I got to say, and if you don't like it, I don't give a fuck. So
I'd like to see Cena as a GM though.
I think they're gonna let him have some time off. Like he's just gonna do nothing for a while, and then maybe just bring him back one day. And go, oh yeah, we have this new GM or we have this new commentator or whatever. They're gonna bring him back in some form. He's not gone forever. You know, you're never officially gone forever until you're 6 feet in the hole. That's pretty much it.
Exactly.
And even then, people still talk about Hulk Hogan. He's been dead for what, 6 months now, and they're still talking about him. Which gives me one more question to ask: was Cena bigger than Hulk Hogan?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Leaps and bounds.
No question.
Yes.
No question.
You didn't see Hulk Hogan go ahead and saving 650 Make-A-Wish children, did you?
No.
Oh.
Oh, eat your vitamins, brother. Oh, fuck off, old man.
Well, he didn't mean he was telling us to take our vitamins. It was actually steroids.
Yeah, exactly.
Period.
Let me tell you something mean, Gene. You tell the little Hulkamaniacs to take their steroids and say their prayers, and maybe one day they'll be as big as me.
Right.
As dead as me.
Yeah. On that note, we will conclude. This is pretty much a John Cena tribute show, and normally I don't have a title for the episode, but now I do. It's now we can't see him anymore. Hashtag thank you, Cena. Before we end the episode, Miss Nicole, you want to promote your social media stuff? I know you've gotten a pretty impressive following in a very short amount of time. I'm actually quite impressed by it.
Thank you. Surprised me. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at girlieslove_wrestling2.
And you do go live periodically, correct?
Sometimes, well, I've been going live with my friends, but I am about to start going live on my channel just randomly. Nice. So, especially now.
Oh yeah, we're hitting in the rumble, and of course it's the best time of year for us. It's WrestleMania season coming up around the corner. Although in Saudi Arabia, that's gonna be a horrible day. I had to be up at like 8:00 in the morning to watch the Rumble. That's gonna suck.
7 for me. I think it came on at 7 my time last time. Ugh.
Yeah. Charles, promote your shit, sir.
Taking a hiatus on it right now, but the Charles Richardson Show, you can find me on Facebook and YouTube. You can subscribe on YouTube and watch recent videos of me and the hijinks that we do sometimes. Right now, taking a hiatus until I can go ahead and get my work schedule laid out.
Smart.
So normally it's Monday, Wednesday, 8 to 10 Eastern. However, could be changing, might be changing. We will see. I did have a rebrand, so my new logo should be coming out when I debut the show again.
And you can see past episodes on the YouTube page as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
As for myself, besides this podcast, myself, the Psycho Nerd, and my buddy Lord Scuba Cabra have a new podcast called The Real Movie Critics. We just recently did the Star Wars Holiday Special. Oh God, that was a rough one to get through. This upcoming week, we're gonna do Ernest Saves Christmas, and then after that, we're gonna do Terrifier 3, and then take a hiatus until 2026. So we got some banger episodes coming out. So make sure you follow The Real Movie Critics on Spotify for the audio and on YouTube for the video. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, follow, all that good shit. As for this podcast, the Josh Zodiac podcast, you can also find this podcast on Apple Podcast and Spotify for the audio, YouTube for the video. We do have a Facebook page. Oh, the Real Movie Critics also has a Facebook page as well. The Josh Zodiac podcast has a Facebook page as well as a TikTok, but I also post the Real Movie Critics stuff on there as well. I don't want to deal with 2 TikToks. It's just a pain in the ass. So make sure you can listen to old podcasts, like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. But for Miss Phil Nicole and for Mr. Charles, I almost called you Miss. I apologize. It was, it's the shirt. I don't. It's the Stitch shirt, I guess.
I knew it was coming. I knew he was going to tell you fuck off.
Yeah. It's just. Well, he didn't call me a particular word. Do not say it. But for For Phil, Nicole, and for Charles, I am DJ Zodiac. This is DJ Zodiac Podcast. I want to thank you for joining us. And until we meet again, one last time I want to say thank you, Cena. You will be missed. We'll see you next time. It's the Josh Zodiac Podcast.